Hey guys, it's Cyrus of Chaos. I'm here with Diego Calderon, and we're going to be watching this bout between Davide Di Veroli from Italy and Patrick Jorgensen from Denmark in Paris in 2019. Diego, do you want to introduce yourself and then we'll
Sure.
introduce the bout and get into it?
So I'm Diego. I'm part of the Spanish national team, and most of the stuff I know because of my coaches there, which are Ángel Fernandez, Fidel Font, which is kind of like the gurus in Spain, and also Alessandro Bosalini, who's been helping us the past 3 years. So most of the things I'm going to be explaining or adding is due to them.
Okay, nice. Why did you pick this bout?
So this tournament is probably my favorite tournament all year. It's really nice to watch. The whole vibe is really cool. It's in Paris, there's actual people watching and like there's a lot of hype basically. And I was watching this bout here live. I really liked it. I like both fencers, especially Veroli. It's always really nice to watch. And Jorgensen also super explosive, super nice fencer.
Yeah, Davide Di Veroli is really mature for his age. He got second at a Grand Prix last year as a junior, I think, right? Maybe even.
Yeah, he's still a junior. He's from 2001.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he's gotten
crazy.
second at Junior World Championships the last couple years in a row.
Yeah, twice. And Jorgensen in 2015 got third place at World Championships. So both of these fencers, really high level. Right now, they're just kind of filling each other out. So there's going to be a few minutes of just kind of doing this information gathering, right? An important thing to note is a lot of times, I've done it myself many times, especially if you're going up against a better fencer. When this is happening, you kind of just wait it out. It's a big mistake. So here you want to gather all the information you can about like their rhythm and even the line. For example, Diveroli's when someone talks about the line, at least my coaches say this way, it's not a position in space, right? It's like a feeling. So you're basically not leaving any openings. And Diveroli, even though his blade is kind of lower, he has all the time he's controlling the line. So it's really hard to get in, and that's why the information is so important. So you can figure out what kind of stuff he uses, what kind of rhythm he uses, how you can open that line.
So when you
And
when
yeah,
you
it's
say
about
when you say open the line, do you mean like which, whether he goes clockwise or counterclockwise to try to parry or?
so right. The most important thing is you want to create a imbalance in their line so you can open it and like feint and kind of get inside their space. So right here with the Kuro core, I don't think they're gonna award the touch. They both have yellow cards already for passivity. So about that imbalance thing, it's really important to, because most people, especially at high level, are always fencing in balance. So the role is like balance the person. They're always kind of. It's really hard to get them off balance. So important thing is if you can create an imbalance in their hand or in their feet, that's where you kind of have a chance to create.
Interesting. So when you would be like doing this exploratory period, you'd be trying to see what they react to and if there's any opportunity to get them off balance or get their hand in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you just want to get all the information you can to create a plan, basically.
Gotcha.
So now it's two red cards for each. I think Jorgensen has the higher rank in the situation. This was a year ago, I think, almost.
Yeah.
So at some point, D. Rolly is gonna have to take the initiative.
Yeah, right. Jorgensen doesn't ever have to do anything if he doesn't want to.
Right. So you see, D. Rolly is kind of pushing a little bit more, which is really good at. He's a really complete fencer, defensively and offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So 2-2. The thing I want to note about Di Rolli, which he does really well, is the use of his back leg. Um, my coaches, at least how they describe it to me, to control the distance, you need to use the back leg, right? So the distance is set by the back leg. Um, so see how he kind of inches it forward step by step, kind of getting inside his space? Even though his front leg sometimes doesn't move with it. So maybe sometimes he like pushes his back leg in that gives you a sensation of him kind of entering your space, and that's really good. Another thing, the way he controls the distance is by sometimes you can notice it by who's moving last, right? So Jorgensen moves first, and then Veroli adjusts to his distance, always keeping it in like a certain spot. So right now, Veroli is the one that's really controlling the distance.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, there's a thousand things to keep in mind.
Going into this break, what would you be telling each of these fencers to be doing the same or different in the next period?
So the one that has to get the touch right now is
Veroli. Yep.
Veroli. It's easier said than done, right? Just attack, but he needs to kind of push him to the end and enter his space. Also, if you control the distance, anytime the other person attacks, you should be able to either close and touch him or open, like lead him short and touch him. So that's like how you know you're controlling the distance. If anything he does, you can do something about it. So even though you're controlling the distance, you still need to find an opening or spot or create it to attack, right? So this is what he really has to do now, to create an opening. And the way he does it is going to be really great. I've watched this morning. He's going to use his back leg to kind of suck in he's basically using his feet to create an imbalance in Jorgensen. So see how he uses his back leg, he kind of goes back?
Yes, he's
That's
setting
like
his
opening
distance
his
with his
distance.
back foot for sure.
Yeah, so he opens the distance with his back leg, giving him like space to go inside, right? But in one of them, he's gonna like kind of open with his back leg, but then close real fast when Jorgensen comes in, you know? See that? His perfect timing is always kind of giving Jorgensen space to come in with the back leg, but right in the right timing when Jorgensen comes in, he closes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they
Whoops.
messed with the score here.
Yeah, it
Should
should.
be 3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jorgensen takes a breather. This is good. He should be thinking about what he should do next. Yeah, that kind of touch gives you a lot of confidence because you know you created that situation and you made it happen, and now you have kind of momentum on your side.
And now he's not the one who has to push and make something happen.
Right. But he's doing the same thing. See how he's kind of using his back leg to suck in his opponent, right? And just when the distance is close enough and the other person commits enough, he closes. And it's perfect timing all the time.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
See, he uses back leg, and just when he goes in, he gets him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's keeping the momentum going. It's really great. If I was him, I would keep doing the same thing, but change up the target or the place of the piece, you know, or the rhythm, kind of breaking all the options that Jorgensen has at the moment.
I also noticed that they're fencing on the close side of the strip, and usually with a righty-lefty, you see them trying to control the outside line, but here they're trying to control the inside line. Again.
Yeah, see how he's changing? Instead of closing his time, he opens. But still doing a really good job of kind of luring his opponent in.
Yeah.
So Jorgensen does a really great thing here where he takes a moment to kind of break his momentum, you know?
Yes.
Take a breather.
That's a really important thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. And so what he should be noticing now, he's getting sucked in by the Veroli. What he really needs to do now is, instead of getting sucked in, he needs to push him, right? He needs to be the one moving him. So he changes kind of his rhythm. So now Veroli is getting pushed back instead of him sucking the opponent in.
So this is a situation that happens sometimes in Saber in the ready fence situation where like your opponent figures out a good space and timing that affects you strongly, and once your opponent gets into that little rhythm, it can be really hard to do anything because it feels like whatever decision you make is wrong. And the reason that that happens is not because of the decision that you're making, it's because of the space and the distance is being controlled by your
Yeah.
opponent.
It always comes back to the distance. You know, who's controlling it.
Yes. So when you so like in that situation, the first two times Veroli closed on him, and the third time he opened, but he's getting the touch in all those situations because he's the one who's controlling that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has the initiative. You know, his intentions is, it's always who controls the distance, and with that distance, can you move your opponent? So in this situation, Veroli moves his opponent by kind of luring him in, and right now what's happening is Jorgensen kind of broke that rhythm, and now he's moving his opponent by pushing him, and you're gonna notice that the balance in Veroli is gonna be different. So his back leg is not moving the same way anymore. See how he's kind of like, his center of gravity is kind of like going up and down more. His legs get closer.
He's getting pushed.
And I'm noticing that Jorgensen is trying to accelerate a bit more.
Yeah.
And threaten a
Change
bit.
the rhythm.
Yeah.
He's also using more blade contact, kind of breaking the line. And his 4 is one of the fastest 4s in the whole circuit. It's really, really quick.
Jorgensen, like that.
Yeah, exactly. So he got inside the space by breaking kind of his balance. Veroli's legs are wide open, so it's hard to change direction. So
Jorgensen did a really great job.
Yeah, look how wide his legs are right there.
yeah, so that's because Jorgensen's kind of moving him, you know?
Yeah.
And that 4 is lightning fast. It's almost one tempo. Okay, so momentum now on Jorgensen's side. He needs to keep it up, you know?
Yeah, that was the first time that he entered distance aggressively where he actually had control of it.
So now again, same thing. He's kind of getting pushed back.
Ooh.
Really great. So that change of rhythm really, really well. So he kind of pushed Veroli farther away, and then when Veroli was getting back into that distance, that's when he changed the rhythm, and it really got him.
Yeah, he kind of like he settled
he's
right
going
there.
Back,
Yeah.
and
He doesn't have time to go back because he was already moving inside. Change the direction, you know, it's difficult like that. If you go so fast too. So now you can notice Jorgensen still has the same intention, but the intensity is not the same.
and Veroli is not being moved the same way.
Yeah, he's
kind of
pushing a little
moving-
bit.
Yeah, he's moving like consciously. He knows what he wants to do, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah, so the momentum kind of evened out, but the time is almost done, so I think they're gonna go to the minute here. But yeah, they're both really smart, really patient. Yeah, not committing there. It's too far away. It's just going to a minute.
Yeah.
But a smart thing to do, you know, have time to regain composure.
So what now would you be telling the guys again?
So this is kind of a blessing for Veroli because he can break the momentum again, kind of start moving his own rhythm, although he was already kind of doing it in this period. Jorgensen needs to really find a way to create one opening, and I think if you can create getting it like a touch by you creating that moment gives you a lot of confidence. So if Jorgensen can create a moment and get that touch the same way by moving Veroli, I think he would have a big advantage.
Hmm.
But Veroli is really, really good on defense. So in this position, he needs to be really careful.
Okay.
Yeah, third and last period. Yeah, so Veroli at the beginning went forward a lot, giving a lot of space to work with. And here Jorgensen trying to find. He's preparing a lot, short, you know, trying to see if Veroli will take a bait or something.
But he's not reacting to much forward. He just kind of gets out of the way a little bit.
Yeah, he's keeping control of the distance best he can. And it's 5-6, so that touch was unfortunate because it was well thought from Jorgensen.
But
Because
Veroli
the
was just
first
fast
touch-
enough.
Yeah, you remember the first touch Jorgensen got after the 2-2,
Yep.
the single 4.
Yep.
So he tried to do the same thing, but unfortunately it came out double. But since it was an action he already got a single touch on, and it's a kind of important situation to tie this up, he went back to something that worked. And unfortunately, it got out as a double, but the idea was really, really there, and just the execution. Yeah, maybe he doubted it or something, but just as Epee, I guess sometimes you can do everything right and get hit or get a double or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also noticed in this bout there hasn't been much attacking the foot from either one of them. They've both made like one or two attempts at it, but
Yeah,
that's it.
they're going more for the body. Yeah. Yeah, Veroli again, keeping balance, keeping control of the line. Jorgensen really quick with his change of rhythm, trying to get in.
Mm-hmm. Or like catch him at a moment where he's not ready, but
Yeah. So he's kind of getting him off balance there. He's more uncomfortable, and he gets him there. Veroli asked if it was core, but it was a remise at the beginning, so he just followed through.
it was also a double anyway.
No, it was a single light.
Oh, was it? Oh, the things at the bottom are
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah, the things at the bottom are just like they don't mean anything. The lights show up on the. Yeah. See how he gets parried, but then he continues and hits him there on the jacket, and then the core happens. So it's completely valid touch.
Yeah, too bad we can't tell exactly when the light came on, but
Yeah. So 6-6. There's a minute 30 left.
so this is so
yeah. I wanted to say something.
I want to
This
say something
bout-
too before you get to
go
that.
Ahead, go ahead.
So I think this is an interesting situation because Veroli was up by 3 touches, and then now it's been tied up again. So mentally, that's an interesting place to be in.
Yeah, and now he has the momentum again, you know, Jorgensen,
Yes, exactly.
because it's the last period and there's more than a minute left, so Veroli has to
Kinda
Has to
get
do
back on.
something. Yep.
on the lead. Okay, so what I wanted to say is this bout ends 15-8,
Woo!
and there's a minute 30 left. And I think there's not going to be that many touches in this minute 30 until more towards the end. But do you have any predictions to who do you think is going to make it?
It really, honestly, for me, it depends on who decides to take the initiative now. So I think that situations like this are interesting because Jorgensen's been making his touches by pushing Veroli, and if he continues to push, I think that he's going to be the one who wins the bout. But
Yeah.
if he goes back to the strategy of like camping, which he was doing in the beginning, which wasn't working, then Veroli's going to win.
Yeah. So I think most of the touches Jorgensen got was having Veroli at the end of his trip. pushing him all the way there, and then creating a moment for himself. But Veroli is really, really strong in the back too, so it's hard to do those things. But
Lippy, you know.
Looks like Jorgensen is still pushing. So
yeah, both of them are kind of fighting for the control.
ooh,
And that touch was amazing. So when I saw this touch, I wondered if it was something Veroli wanted to do, or if that's just something his body automatically does, right? Because the tempo he goes for is kind of for the chest, right? For the body. But his body kind of like automatically notices that something's happening, and his remise automatically goes like it's, you know, second nature.
yeah.
So yeah, that touch was pretty interesting. I wouldn't know if like he wanted to do that, or if he just like wasn't balanced and just skillful enough that those situations are benefit him.
Could be an impulse from his foil days.
Yeah.
Because I've heard one of the things I've heard a lot from epee fencers is that when foil fencers are fencing epee, you do not want to infight with them.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, that's good. So a double.
Yeah.
And there's 1 minute and 1 second left. So passivity is still on board.
Can you imagine having passivity called at 1 second?
I've seen it happen.
I'm sure it has. That just would be very disappointing to lose for that reason. Oh, good. The score on the bottom is working again.
Oh yeah, the lights are gone.
So that was a floor touch. He didn't get it, but yeah, he kind of takes a moment to think, you know, breathe a little bit. He has 30 seconds to kind of create a touch.
And he's taking his time a little bit, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, the next touch is probably my favorite one. See that? So what happened there is Jorgensen prepared once, like he was doing earlier in about two, and then immediately Veroli notices that preparation. And on the second one, he gets him when he pulls back. In Spanish, we call it ataque sobre la retirada. But right here, he lets him fall short. He's in control of the distance, and when he pulls back, he gets him. And that touch is really, really great because it really breaks your opponent. Because you can feel that when somebody gets you like that, you can feel that you're not in control of that right now. You know, you need to get back to control the situation.
Yeah, I always tell people to try to notice situations that you can take advantage of, and Jorgensen is probably using that preparation because it feels pretty safe to him. And if you can punish someone for doing something that they feel safe doing, that's a real problem for them.
Yeah. So is there 16 seconds left? This bout is still gonna end 15-8. So now it's gonna get more active.
Yeah, so this is the interesting situation where you'll have a 15-8 epee bout, which was incredibly close.
Yeah.
Even though you can see the score maybe later on like the website or whatever, but it doesn't reflect how the bout actually.
How close the bout was, exactly.
Yeah. Because this could have gone either way easily.
Yeah, because now Jorgensen needs to basically push really hard, and that gives the advantage to his opponent.
But yeah, like perfectly, and yeah, that one really shuts down your morale because he does it so well. And also, Veroli has so many different changes. Like he changes his touch every time. Yeah,
it'll be really interesting to see how he does in a few years once he's matured a little bit.
Yeah, more than he already naturally is. Yeah, but super, super well. They have a little face down, face to face action.
Did he not like
Yeah.
how close he was when he got yelled at or something?
Yeah, but it's understandable,
Veroli was not yelling at him though.
Yeah, but the bout is kind of slipping out your hands. He's a young junior kid. It's Jorgensen is really, really, really good fencer too. I've seen him done many, many things, especially in teams. He's really scary. So in situations like this, against if it was a fencer, anybody else that hasn't so good at changing stuff and so experienced, it'd still be in danger.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, he changes the action every time.
Yeah, that was nice. I'm surprised that was one light.
Yeah. That makes him strong. You can never get used to what D-Rail is going to do because he does it differently. It changed it again. This time he stayed. Last time he went all the way back. But yeah, really great match by two amazing fencers, really. Both of them really accomplished. Also, great people. I've known Veroli. I've trained with him. I've fenced with him, and really, really, really nice guy. Honestly, super nice guy. And Jorgensen, I don't know. I don't think he knows me personally, but I watched him, and he's really, really great.
Do you have any closing thoughts on the bouts? On the bout?
I mean, I would say the most important thing to note is how people use their back leg to control the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And also how the beginning of the bout is important to kind of make a plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, good match.
Also,
GG.
also just kind of the power of controlling the action, because they were both getting the touches much more often when they were the ones pushing and initiating. And
Yeah.
You can notice that nobody really committed any mistakes, right? Like, nobody did something really out of distance or something that, like, a random, I'm just going to go to foot right now. Like, everybody fenced well. There wasn't mistakes. It was just one of them did it better than the other one at some point of the match, and then it switched,
Yeah, that's a good observation to make, because, like, it's hard, especially in an epee bout where you have to be, like, so focused every single instant when... And then there's just, like, this one moment where you think, like, you can do something and you make a bad decision, and then, like, that could be a huge turning point in the bout. But that never happened here, so...
By impulse. Like, nobody really...
Fence because, like, okay, I just want to touch. Everybody, it was, like, elaborate work behind every touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows really how high-level fencers they are.
Yeah, that's good. That's something that definitely a lot of saber fencers, including myself, don't appreciate enough about this facet of our sport. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was fun, man.
Thank you for doing that with me, Diego.
Of course.
Sweet. That was fantastic.
Thank you, sir.